Hello everybody, it's Vasharal with a brand new video of Animal Crossing, and in today's video we're gonna talk about time traveling and also how to eliminate the villagers that you don't want in your island. As you guys can hear, my voice is a little bit better, so I'm recovering from, I believe it is laryngitis, and yeah, I've been spending 9 hours to actually figure out what was actually causing the problem, which I'll be sharing with you in the video. So without further ado, let's go into the intro. So as I said, this method requires time traveling. This is the method I used throughout the video, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be very helpful for you if you're a person that enjoys and uses time travel, obviously. So there are 3 methods that we can use during this, and I'll be sharing each one of them. I will take you a step-by-step what you can actually do. So yeah, let's go through the first one. So this method I've discovered on Twitter, and it's posted by a user called Para049, and I will actually put this on the screen, and you can also find it in the description, so go and check it out if you want to give it a read. And basically this method implies that you have to obviously use the time travel and to speak with at least 3 of your villagers before you actually start. The next step is to actually go 1 month and a day forward, then enter in the game, save, and then quit, and afterwards you time travel back to the past 1 month. Once you've done that, you can enter in the game, and then you will actually scout ahead and check to see everyone on the island and see which one has the bubble. Some of them don't have a bubble, they are just walking at a slower pace and they're thinking or they're saying something, and you can actually see that from quite afar if you're just passing by. Now, if you notice that the villager that you want to kick out has the bubble, just go ahead and talk to it, and it usually should be very easy from there on. The next day they will plan to actually move out of your home, so you can use it to actually trade it, or you can actually skip ahead until you actually empty a new spot. If the villager is incorrect and it's someone else, what you can do is to actually change with 1 day forward, but keep in mind that you don't have to actually save. All you have to do is close the game by going in the menu, then pressing X to close the game. Afterwards you change the date, and then you go back inside the game to check to see if it's another villager. Sometimes there won't be any thought bubbles, or nobody will want to move, and that's pretty normal. It could happen throughout your whole session. So if that happens, close the game without saving and head back 1 day in the past. So whenever you have this kind of problem where there's no thought bubble, it is good to play between going forward and going backwards, and repeating the step 4 on and on by searching to see whatever villager is planning to actually go out. Also to keep in mind, for you to not actually trigger the whole auto-saving process, which happens from Animal Crossing obviously, it is best that you hurry up as best as you can by spending less than 5 minutes in the game to actually not trigger the autosave. So keep in mind that, go quickly throughout the island and check to see who is having the thought bubble, or who's planning to leave and who's not, and then close the game, change the date, and continue from there. The second method that I've been using, and I've been having a lot of success in the past before I actually managed to have problems with Deirdre, was that I choose to actually go in the future for 1 month, and from there on I just played between the next day and going backwards, and basically respecting the same rule as I've shared in the first method. So whenever I've not seen the villager thinking, I would actually go back, and if it was a different villager, I would just go forward, and I was just playing around to actually see it. That would have most of the time triggered a bubble or a thought or something of a sort, and randomly the villager that I actually wanted would actually want to move out, and then I would just speak with it, and then they will move. And the third method that I've used, and which I've been the most successful at actually figuring out how to control the whole bubble and being successful to remove Deirdre. The reason why I actually wanted to remove Deirdre was because she was one of the first villagers that I had, and she had a basic home. I couldn't improve. Obviously the game was designed in that form, and what I needed to do was to actually kick her out and re-invite her and basically use an amiibo card. So that was the actual reason why I actually wanted her to be gone in the first place. So let's go through the third method that I've been most successful with. So first thing first, let's say that you haven't been following none of the method that I've shared, neither one or two, and you will be in present day and you will actually want to kick out your villager. So first thing what you have to do is to actually save and quit the game and then skip a day and then re-enter the game to actually go and check to see if any villager is planning to leave your island. If none of the villagers actually plan to leave, then save and quit the game and skip 15 days and then re-enter the game to actually check to see if you have any bubbles or anyone is planning to actually leave. Now, by this point, you should have some villagers that will be triggered. That could be also the villager that you actually want, which is a very good thing. What I need you to keep in mind is the date when they started triggering the bubble. It's a very important date, and I would recommend you writing it down, and also the day when you actually started, so the present day, right? Or whenever you actually started time traveling, as the next process is gonna trigger the bubble almost every single time when you're using this method. So contrary to the other methods that I've said, saving and quitting does not affect by any means the game and how your villagers are. The game is designed in such a way that the villagers will not leave your island unless you speak with them and unless you actually encourage them to leave. So even if you see them with a bubble and you save and quit, the bubble does not necessarily remain on the same villager unless you are staying in the same day. So even if you skip, the bubble should jump on the next villager, because the villager that had the bubble will have a certain cooldown. So what I'm trying to say is that, let's give an example of dates. Let's say you start on the 1st of May. You skip one day and you have the 2nd of May and you don't notice any bubbles. Then what you have to do is skip those 15 days. So it will be the 16th of May. Then you will notice that some of the villagers might want to move. If you wrote down that 16 is the date of the moving, then the next step is quite simple. All you have to do is, whenever you notice that it's another villager that you don't want them to leave, all you can do is to go and speak with them and tell them to stay. After you spoke with them, you can save and quit, head back in present day, that would be the 1st of May, enter the game and then save and quit again, and then head back on the date of 16, and you will notice that the bubble will be transferred to somebody else, or there won't be anyone, and all you have to do is repeat the process by going back in the present and then back on the date of 16th, and you keep on repeating that until the villager that you want will go. Now, throughout my session of 9 hours of time traveling and trying all the methods that I could possibly do, I even tried to be mean to Deirdre, and I assaulted her with a net, and I tried to push her around, and I simply ignored her all the time. It was so impossible for me to actually trigger her to do, because I had an in-game bug, which I actually noticed after trying every single thing, and that was the fact that I had an alternative character which I created not too long ago, and when I made this character, it probably triggered Deirdre to actually be bugged, except everyone else in the island. She was the only one that was completely unaware that I was trying to kick her out, and that was really frustrating because I really spent a lot of time to actually do this. Obviously I didn't stay 9 hours straight, but I stayed about 4 hours. I even had like 4 hours of recording on the first day and then 5 more hours on the next day, when I actually discovered the third method, and I discovered that saving does not really affect in any way your game, and you don't really lose anything if you save. So yeah, that's it guys. I thought that these methods would help you quite a lot, and I think that each method as itself should work very well to trigger the bubbles. And if you want to actually follow the method. In my opinion, I think the third one would be the most successful one, because you can control whenever it is. You will know the date, so you just go back from present to the date of moving and keep moving from there. But obviously you can try the other methods and see which one works for you. I've tried all three of them. They're all triggered to move villagers, which is very good. If I wouldn't have the bug, there wouldn't be a problem with the whole moving in the first place, and I wouldn't spend so many hours. So if you're having difficulty moving one particular villager because he's not being triggered, be mindful if you have alternative accounts on your Switch. That could be one of the reasons. So what you can do is switch to that particular character and try to kick them from that account. It worked for me, and I shared it in my footage. I think it was the second time that I actually tried it and I saw her triggered. I was so tired, I didn't even notice, and it was Armea who actually told me that, hey look, Deirdre is actually being triggered now, it's working. So yeah, be mindful about that. I've noticed a lot of people still complaining that they still have their most favorite villagers being triggered, but it's not the one that they want, and he keeps doing that and they've been spending hours. So the third method or any other method should not take you more than an hour. The third method should actually take you maybe less, and once you actually know what's the moving date, you can actually kick multiple characters at once. When you kick a villager, you will have to replace them with somebody else, otherwise the game is gonna send another villager towards your way. So when you do this method, try to get another villager to move in. Maybe you buy it from Nuka Zone or Discord, or maybe you just trade it with a friend or something like that. It doesn't really matter, but be mindful that you get him the next day when you have a slot, because the second day after it should be purchased by somebody else, which could be random, which you wouldn't want in your village, and then go with the process of kicking somebody else. So yeah, that's it guys. I think that covers everything that I wanted to actually say in this video. Sorry if it's a very long one. I appreciate the fact that you've been very supportive on our most recent videos, and I thought that this video will help you out quite a lot to kick the villagers that you don't want. So yeah, thank you once again for watching the video, and we hope that you continue to support our channel and to continue to watch content that brings you value and helps you out in Animal Crossing. So yeah, thank you very much once again. If you like the video, share with your friends, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.